Welcome to another episode of The Geeky Bride. First, let's read the comments from the last video. Russ Kitty says, Jenny! Woohoo! Woo! Matt says, it really is just having fun with themes, as much fun as possible. It really is all about the expression. Congrats, it sounds ridiculously fun. It's gonna be ridiculously fun. Oh my goodness. Luna Lovegoody, hi, I miss you. She says, your series totally makes me want to make a video documenting our wedding too. Do it, I'll watch it. We are having a sort of theme/destination wedding. It's vintage travel, 1960s Mad Men jet set theme. That sounds like an awesome wedding. I want to see pictures, and you should definitely do this series like this, cause oh my goodness. Okay, I'm taking these off because they reflect the window too much. Okay, so weddings. So last time we talked about making sure that you have your reception and your ceremony place, which will show you your date and make sure it's for the right amount of people. Guests, that's a big thing because you can't invite everybody and it's gonna be difficult, and I know it was extremely difficult for me and Jim to cut down our guest list. More than half of the people are family because that's what's most important to us. It was hard because we want to invite everybody, but you just can't because weddings are expensive. There's a lot of things you need to do for a wedding. Although, if you think about it, none of them are required. And that's one thing I keep telling myself every time I get overwhelmed with the amount of decisions I have to make about things, is that the only thing that is required to get married is a marriage license, someone to marry you, and witnesses. And it may be different depending on your state or depending on your country, of course. In California, the two people who are getting married have to pick up their marriage license no more than 90 days prior to getting married because they do expire. You have to have a form of ID and you have to know what you want your name to be changed to, which is another thing that's not required. If you're a woman and you're marrying a man, you do not have to take his last name. You can keep your own last name and nobody can change their names, and it's totally fine. I have friends who've done this, and there's less paperwork. You could also hyphenate your last name so you both get each other's last name. He could take your last name. And again, it's not always a man and a woman getting married, so there's all different sorts of ways you can do it. Also, and this is an important point I want to make, if you're a woman marrying a man, you are not any less a feminist for taking his name. If taking his last name is something that you want to do and no one else is telling you you have to do it, but it's a decision you've made on your own, then take his last name. Do what you want! Basically. That's the fact of the matter. So you know what your name's gonna be, you've got your marriage license, you have someone to marry you, you have some witnesses. That's really all you need to do, but usually people want to throw a party to celebrate it. You know, invite a bunch of people, and usually parties take up time, and so you want to feed them. So you will get food, caterer, and then people usually like to dance at parties or to have music, so there's music. And then, you know, you want the place to look cool, so find a cool place or maybe get decorations. And then you can build on from there how close to a super traditional wedding you want, as opposed to, you know, doing whatever you want. One really easy way to get your personality and your fiance's personality into your wedding without it being way too obvious is the music. And we've had a lot of fun with this. You can play whatever music you want, whatever music that represents the two of you. I mean, you could walk down the aisle to, I'm looking at this mug and all I can think of is the Firefly theme song. You could do that. Definitely you don't have to go with the traditional music that most people play. And if that's what you want, then like totally. Maybe even do it as some sort of like, let's do everything as super traditional as possible and see if anyone notices. That could be your own form of a geeky wedding. You can search for wedding checklists and things you need to do on what day. Like I said, the Erin Condren wedding planner has a great list of when you should be doing everything. Don't feel tied to that list entirely. Like, you don't have to have a cake if you don't like cake. Also, if you're religious and you have certain religious requirements, then yes, of course, do those. Do the legal stuff, do the religious stuff. All of the fun stuff is up to you. leave in the comments any last questions you have for me. I'm doing one more of these videos. I don't know what I'm going to talk about in the last video, so if you have anything last minute you want me to tell you about or answer for you, please leave them in the comments below. Bye! I'll see you next week!